Welcome to Life Specialties. I will first go over the features that Life Specialties has that are the same as AutoPanel. To begin with, we have the exit key. So once you press the icon and go into the system and you decide that you want to exit out, there is an exit button. Next, we have settings. Within settings, you can modify your password, but that password has to be modified on the live system to equal this password. So if you set your password at 24 on the live system, it needs to be 24 on AutoPanel. Those have to be equivalent. Enable additional protocols. That is a feature that can help you add other protocols. Once you've paid for them, you can get a coupon and enter them through this feature. But you can also go to Live Biofeedback Solutions and add new protocols easily, or purchase the whole AutoPanel package or Life Specialties. The durations button, Reset Durations, is to set each computer to the speed of its processor. All computers run different speeds according to what software they have on them or what processor that they have. Therefore, this reset durations helps calibrate the AutoPanel programs and specialties programs so that they do not overlap. This feature is most usually used by tech support, but it can be used by the individual. It will not cause any harm. It will just reset your timers. The clean up old logs. This is for your client files that I will show you in a moment under client files. Within this feature, you can decide to keep the logs for 3 days, or you can keep them 60 days. You can set this to whatever you would prefer for your system to save space on your hard drive. Run as administrator. I suggest you only use this if tech support suggests that you use this feature. Language. You have English, French, and Spanish. And if you choose Spanish, it will restart the system. And once it restarts, it is in Spanish. If you go to settings again, choose languages and choose English, it will restart again in English. Okay. And that is settings. Icon legend. As you see, the check marks are good. We have 3 different check marks. They all mean that the program ran successfully. They just have different meanings for programming purposes and tech support purposes. The X is where a program started but did not finish. Something interrupted it. That could be a Windows update, another program starting up and covering the screen where the automation is unable to proceed. It could be many things. Non-launch means that it never even started. Something was in the way of starting this protocol. It could be a Windows update or another software update. It could be many things. Future protocols. This is when you've scheduled something. This is a good sign. When it has blue, it means something's scheduled and waiting to start. The interrupted is pretty much the same as the white. Another program has interrupted the current protocol. F8, I will demonstrate to you in a moment. That is a way to safely stop your software without causing any issues within your system. And that is icon legend. Next is help. If you check for updates, you'll see everything is up to date. If there is an update, when you check for updates, it will tell you that there is an update available. Once you see that there's an update available, you have to be connected to the internet and you can proceed with the update and get the latest version. Remote support is so that our tech support team can dial in and help you research your tech issue and correct it. Protocol description shows the description of baseline, whole body health, and hormone biliary. It also shows that the baseline takes 45 minutes to run. Whole body health and hormone biliary each take approximately 2 hours. That will vary according to the processor in your computer. You have frequently asked questions, and then about is something that you will need in order to let tech support know what version you have that you are running on your system. If you were to report an issue, you would need this number. File. Under File, you have Run and Schedule. You also have those buttons here. I do not use these very often. They are here to use, and you also have shortcuts that you can use with those, but I prefer to use the Schedule and the Run at the bottom left-hand corner. Daily reports show what you ran the last day, and so if you click on the 19th, you'll notice that I ran client number 17, and I ran a baseline test on this client. I actually had to stop it with F8 because I was actually doing a demonstration for someone. So it will tell you if you stopped with the F8, or if you go to the log before it, you can see that client 414, I ran baseline and it ran 84 minutes. So you know it ran successfully. And you can close that. And then under client reports, this is where you get the reports for the different protocols. You have 1 for baseline, 2 for whole body health, and 3 for hormone biliary. I'm going to start with 1, the baseline report. And if you'll notice, you have a HTML and a PDF of the actual baseline report. The baseline report consists of 9 pages, and within these pages, it lists the red, yellow, blue, and green, and anything under 15 in your report. It also gives you the body stresses and the associated outcomes, which are similar to symptoms. So if the person said that they have flu-like symptoms, you're going to look for this in associated outcomes. It lists miasmic factors. CellCom, we list the top 5 and the bottom 5 in the testing. Also have the body stresses and associated outcomes that are tied with those. In the dental, we note the organs that are connected and the vertebrae that are connected to each tooth. We have environmental and industrial toxins, pathogens and other toxins, personal and self-induced stress factors, organ, and spinal. If you'll notice in spinal, it says that 13 out of 27 of the vertebrae are listed. Remember, we're just listing red, yellow, blue, and green, and anything under 15. And again, we have the body stresses that are connected to that vertebrae and possible associated outcomes. We have minerals. I love the way the minerals is set up. If you notice here, boron is out of balance, and it tells you to look at phosphorus levels, calcium levels, magnesium levels. So it gives you hints on domino effects that can be caused by one mineral being out of balance. And if you'll notice calcium levels here, so are magnesium. So you can see how those relate. We have amino acids, vitamins, and chakras in the baseline report. This report saves you from writing down the results from each test, because not only do you have them on the 9-page report, but you also have print screens of the results of the test. For instance, if I wanted to look at the vitamins, minerals, and amino acids closer, I can pull up that print screen, and I have a record of what each item was within this test, even though it is above 15 and not in the red, yellow, blue. Also, if you look to the HTML file with the name of the client, you have a saved reactivity report that you can scroll through and evaluate without having to print it. I always like to look at the reactivity report prior to looking at my baseline report, and I compare the two when utilizing the baseline to create a case plan for my client the following week. Whole Body Health, I love this program. It works with lymphatic drainage, skin health, muscle tone, fat reduction. Hormone Biliary helps with thyroid support, liver support, gallbladder support, digestion. These are great programs. Also under file, you have a diagnostic report. These are strictly for the tech support team if they have to use remote support to look into your system. And the reload is not anything that you will use. So now let's schedule something. You'll notice I have check marks here, but you'll also notice that I have programs from the auto panel. And let's say that I want to clear those out and get them out of the way. So I can highlight the first one, hold the shift key down and highlight the last one that I want to delete, delete key and say yes. If you'll remember, I stopped a baseline and it actually showed it where I pressed F8 in the baseline, and here it is. It has the stop, but then it goes on. It has these other auto panel programs. But let's use client number 17 again, and let's do Whole Body Health. And it is actually 2:02. And if I hit schedule now, because when we came in here, we had a 10-minute window. So it does give you a 10-minute window from the time that you enter to time you schedule. But if I try to schedule now, I'm going to get a warning that we've already passed that time. And I'm going to say, okay. When I say okay, look what it did. It gave me that 10-minute window, so I'm free to schedule. Another way to reset it is you can exit and go back into the program. So the program is very smart in helping you. But the second time I hit schedule, it allowed me to schedule it. It changed it to military time, but it's the same time for 2:11. Now, when this starts, it will continue on and it will not allow me to schedule another one until 4:12 because that's the next time that's open. So I'm going to do client 16 and I'm going to schedule hormone biliary, and it automatically schedules it at 4:12. Then you'll notice it says 6:46. Even though this is translated into military time, this is the regular time with AM and PM so that it does not confuse you. Now I am going to delete these two. I'm going to exit out. I'm going to go back in, and I am going to run Whole Body Health on number 17, but instead of scheduling, I'm going to hit run. So run works just like it would if you were scheduling. No hands. It's doing it itself. So it's running Whole Body Health, checking the language, it's checking EMR protection, logging in. There it goes. It logged in. Now it turned to log out. It's going to go to demographics, choose client number 17, do a follow-up visit. It's going to calibrate. It's going to test geopathic stress. It's going to do geopathic feedback on the red, yellow, blue. And when this is complete, what you're going to notice is the initialization over in the right-hand bar will have a check mark, and then it will continue on to muscle. Each profile that it finishes will put a check mark of completion and move to the next one. This allows you to monitor the progress of the protocol that you are running. After it completes the geopathic feedback, it then puts a check mark and an initialization over to the right under the Whole Body Health, and it goes to the muscle panel. Within the muscle panel, it chooses the first selection and continues on. Now, I'm going to demonstrate how to stop a program. I'm going to hit F8 at this point, and I receive a message, Life Specialties has stopped, the program will exit, and I'm going to tell it okay. If you'll notice, your sidebar disappears. What you can do at this point is you can safely stop your live system, and you can exit out of the wellness panel. And when you go back into Life Specialties, it's not going to have where you stopped it like this, because I want to share the difference. When you run, it will not list it here. So you have no record other than you ran one instantly. And that's very important that you know that. So there's no record of me stopping it like this one. This particular one was scheduled. I had scheduled it for 3 minutes ahead and set and wait. It started. It went through the initialization and then went on to the reactivity, and I pressed F8, and that's what the report showed. So if it's scheduled and you stop it, it will show in here. If you've ran it automatically and stopped it, it's not going to show it. And that is Life Specialties.